Just before Christmas, I spent 3 days and 2 nights at the Appalachian Mountain Club's Lonesome Lake Hut in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. I hiked from Lafayette Place Campground and crossed the Pemigewasset River, following the Lonesome Lake Trail to the hut. I took advantage of all the amenities the hut provides while enjoying the phenomenal views of the lake and the surrounding mountains. Overnight temperatures were in the single digits, and the hut's wood stove was a welcome source of heat. I also hiked the Fishin'Jimmy Trail to Kinsman Pond.
We left the house at about 6 this morning. After 4 hours of driving, I ended up in a winter wonderland up here in the Franconia Notch. And to be specific, Franconia Notch State Park, Lafayette Campground parking area. We are hiking to Lonesome Lake Hut today, where I'm planning to stay overnight. Weighed my pack in this morning, and it was 38 pounds, a far cry from the 22 pounds we did the Wildcats in back in June. But it's winter and the gear is heavier, and even the backpack is a 5-pound backpack, but it's more comfortable carrying all this gear than my lightweight Z-Packs was. All right, we're actually close to halfway to Lonesome Lake, and this is a junction with the High Canyon Trail, which isn't getting as much use as the path to the Lonesome Lake Hut. Lonesome Lake Hut is a year-round open caretaker hut in the system, which I plan to take full advantage of. It's single digits. I think it was 8 degrees when I started the hike. It's supposed to go a little bit colder than that tonight. So I'll be staying in the bunk room at the hut and be able to appreciate the fire in the lodge area. Okay, a little bit of moisture management there. Took off the puffy coat. Took off the big mercury mitts, changed my hat. A little bit cool now, but spent a lot uphill. And you definitely don't want to get too sweaty.
If you're interested in seeing the GPS recordings of the hikes I took on this trip, I provided links to my AllTrails recordings in the description below.
According to AllTrails, we're about 3/10 of a mile to the trail junction, and it's another 3/10 of a mile around the south side of Lonesome Lake. It's been pretty steep here. I believe it's going to level off in a couple tenths of a mile. Seems to be a pretty busy trail. Oh, by the way, temperatures dropped to 4 degrees Fahrenheit.
The Lonesome Lake Hut is at an elevation of 2,760 feet. It was named by William C. Prime, a famous angler and author who built a camp on the lake shore in the late 1800s. In 1929, the AMC leased and renovated the former Prime cabin and opened it for use by campers in the following year. The hut once stood on the north side of Lonesome Lake. In 1963, the AMC built the current octagonal hut. It was built on the southwest side of Lonesome Lake to take advantage of the view of Franconia Ridge. In 2002, the Lonesome Lake Hut opened for winter service for the first time. It's one of 3 New Hampshire huts open year-round. The other 2 are Carter Notch and Zealand Falls. We stayed in Carter Notch in June. If you're interested, I'll leave a link in the description below for those videos.
So I got to the lake and I thought, wow, this is the easy part. It's nice and flat. Here's the problem. It's freaking cold. The wind coming off the lake is like numbing. So I had to stop, throw on another layer, throw on the balaclava, put the heavy duty gloves on, and I'm still cold.
I got to the hut a little after 1. My batteries died because of the cold. They're not really dead. I mean, they're like 90% left in this battery. Once you get warmed up again, you can use them. They just shut down. Hopefully I'll go back out a little bit and catch some of the beautiful scenery that's out here. Caretaker is Zoe. She let me know the lay of the land here. It's not going to be that many people here, maybe 6 to 10 people tonight. Last night they had a Boy Scout troop as a big group, but it should be fun here. It's nice and warm next to the fire. And before it gets dark, I definitely want to go check out the rest of the lake, maybe do a loop around the lake, but it's really cold out there and I need to warm up and have some lunch. Warming up my chicken with broccoli, ramen. That's my lunch for today. Today, the Lonesome Lake Hut Winter Service provides campers with an enclosed but unheated bunkhouse, composting toilet, potable water, and a full-service kitchen to prepare your own meals. The dining room is common space for both overnight and day visitors. You will find the AMC crew member/caretaker here to chat with and provide guidance. Overnight guests have access to the kitchen facilities to cook and wash dishes. Water and hot drinks are free for overnight guests. About 3 in the afternoon, I think. I'll check. And I'm going to head out for a short hike around Lonesome Lake. So I've made it to Lonesome Lake. Not sure which mountain is behind us, but it's probably one of the hills on the ridge there. I had no idea how many snowdrifts there would be, but it makes sense with there being a lake and all this wind. We're getting some nice afternoon views around the Lonesome Lake Trail here. Oh, that was interesting. It's getting hard to follow the trail. And I think I put my foot in the water. I don't feel wet, got the bags on there, but yeah, a little scary. These bog bridges are narrow and it'd be fun to walk on if you could see them, but right now, can't really see them. I think we just finished the marshy section. I can actually see some footprints over here. That's good. Must be getting close to the far end of the lake or the north end. All right, we reached the northwest corner of Lonesome Lake and the trail junction's here. We're going to keep going to the right so you can go completely around Lonesome Lake. So I'm back to the junction where I was earlier. I'm going to take the east side and south side of the lake back to the hut. In the meantime, I got to figure out how to get these huge ice balls off my left foot. Check it out. Cruising through here now. Definitely this side is a lot more broken in. I think obviously this is the path that people take, shortest path anyways, to Lonesome Lake Hut, so it gets more use. All right, behind me is where the AT heads back off towards the other side of Franconia Notch, and this is the southern end of the lake. And pretty soon we're going to be crossing the little bridge here where the dam is and heading back to the hut where it's warm.
It's Monday, December 23rd. I'm at the Lonesome Lake Hut. It's 5 degrees. It's warmed up a bit since a low of about 3 degrees last night. Got a beautiful view here. You can see the whole Franconia Ridge over there. Absolutely beautiful. Today we're hiking up the Kinsman Ridge Trail and we're going to the North Kinsman and then South Kinsman from right here at the AMC hut. I think the trail's been broken in, so it shouldn't be too bad. Conditions are somewhat cloudy. Hopefully we'll get some views when we get up there. We'll see what happens. Well, as I start the hike, it's warm today. 20 degrees out. Big improvement over single digits yesterday. Hopefully it's not too windy. This will be a good hike.
The Fishin'Jimmy Trail was established in 1930 and eliminated a tedious climb over the cannonballs to reach a lonesome lake. The trail was named for a lovable character whose real name was Jimmy Witcher.
Well, we've gone about a half a mile, about 1.8 miles to get to the Kinsman Pond Trail intersection, and it's going to start getting steep from here on out. Got about 3/4 of a mile to go. We stopped for a quick snack, something to drink, got rid of a layer, but as you can see behind me, still got a ways to go to get up the top of this one. 3/4 of a mile to the trail junction with the Kinsman Pond. We got, did I mention the temperature's dropping with elevation? It's back down to 10 degrees from 20. Check out that ledge, huh? All that water has been dripping over there and it's formed this icicle forest. Very cool.
These ice crystals look like feathers, don't they?
We got this beautiful view here. Nice and opening. We can see across the Franconia Notch. It's 1/10 of a mile from this junction to the shelter, and I assume the pond. I can sort of see it, so this will be cool to go check out the shelter and the pond. Okay, we're at Kinsman Pond, and behind me is North Kinsman. Down there at the other end of the pond, well, that's South Kinsman.
While the Kinsmans were certainly in reach, it was getting late and I decided to head back to the hut. Overnight, the temperature went down to about 13 degrees Fahrenheit, with warmer temps than the first night I slept comfortably in my 0-degree sleeping bag and the 40-degree quilt combo. The 6 inches of fresh snow looked lovely on the lake. The trail was no longer broken in, so I wore my snowshoes for the trek back to the car. This was a chill trip by my standards. I didn't hike any of the New Hampshire 4,000 footers, didn't rack up big miles, and I didn't rough it out of shelter. I stayed in the hut and enjoyed the people and the amenities. I had virtually no cell service on this trip, so I borrowed a book from the hut library and I read it from cover to cover. It was The Unlikely Thru Hiker by Derek Lugo, which I highly recommend whether or not you plan to hike the AT.
Got about a mile left to get back to the campground, and I think the car is just beyond that parking lot. Beautiful out here. Nice opportunity to break out the snowshoes.
If you enjoyed watching this video, please let me know with a like and a comment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.